Hey guys, it's Car Guy 11. I'm with my buddy Chad. You probably remember him. He's been on the channel a number of times. We've driven each other's vehicles. And now he's got a brand new 2022 Camaro SS 1LE. Congrats first of all.
Thank you.
Beautiful red color. It just glows in the sun. What's the
Wild cherry tint coat.
But very cool color. But yeah, Chad has come from a number of Camaros, including what, a 95?
I had a 95 Z28 that I ordered, a 14 SS 1LE that I ordered, and then I ordered this one.
Yeah, and on the channel we have the 14 1LE, and then of course this one. And then he has driven my Supra and my C7. But today, actually, I'm very interested in driving this because this is actually the automatic, auto 10-speed GM Ford transmission.
Yep.
I haven't driven it in any other vehicle yet. You know, Chad's driven my Supra with the 8-speed ZF auto, and kind of want to compare and see, you know, how the shifting is, because the shifting is excellent, I think, on the Supra.
Yeah.
We'll see what I think of this vehicle. But yeah, otherwise, you've always had manual, so this is kind of interesting too.
It's new, yeah.
But yeah, let's get started. We'll start off in tour mode and just see how she feels. Now, this, of course, the 1LE has the mag ride suspension.
The shift patterns are different on tour versus sport.
Right. You know, it's funny, even in the tour mode, the suspension feels firm.
I thought the same thing, whether it's the tires or just, yeah, the overall programming.
I'm a little surprised about that. My C7 is more floaty in the tour. You know, I have to say you do feel the weight in this car. This is the same engine as my C7, 455 horsepower, same torque number. But boy, when you accelerate, you're feeling more of that weight.
Yeah.
This is what, 38? Close to 3,800
The
pounds?
invoice said 38.25,
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah, so you do have a weight penalty here compared to C7 or Supra, obviously. You still get the great low-end torque, the LT1 engine, but I guess that's why they make the ZL1.
Yeah,
If you want more.
200, just about 200 more horsepower.
But you don't really need it. I mean, it's totally fine and fun. I like the solid feel of the Camaro chassis. That's one huge improvement over the C7. I can feel that already. But yeah, let's kick it into sport, just because I'm not thrilled with the transmission shifting there. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Short. That really does the crackle and pops.
Not quite like the Supra, but
I mean, I'm really shocked by that, because usually the GMs are more tame, you know. I'm still in auto. I just want to see how this shifts. Of course, the handling is great. A little bit floaty in sport mode still, but okay. Okay, it holds the gears in sport mode. So I'm going to use the paddles, and that will put it in manual temporarily.
yes, for 4 seconds or so. There you go.
The shifts are crisper in manual, for
Yes.
sure. In auto, it's not as crisp.
Right.
At least not in track mode.
It feels like it flares a little bit. That might be
Yeah.
the torque management. After the shift happens, it kind of ramps up the power delivery or the torque delivery.
So in order to get the transmission in track, that we still have to go into track,
Correct.
right?
So if you
we'll
bump it
try
down.
it here. And then this is back in auto.
There you go. Now, yeah, now you're
Back in auto.
It'll hold the gears longer. It'll downshift sooner.
Let me see if I brake here. So it's not as aggressive as downshifting when you brake.
It will if you accelerate hard or brake hard or even corner hard. It'll go into performance shift mode. But I know if you corner hard, brake hard, accelerate hard, it'll pop up on the dash say performance shift mode.
I gotcha. So it has to be in that mode in order to do that aggressive shifting.
Sure.
Steering is definitely tight in track mode. Yeah, it's not as crisp for sure, the shifts. I mean,
in auto.
In auto, yeah. Let me go back into manual here.
Yeah, when you're playing around in manual, you can easily lose track of what gear you're in. Fortunately, the heads-up display shows it.
Yes, it does. Oh, and it's an excellent heads-up display. It has the RPM, speed,
lateral G's.
Yes, yeah, that's pretty cool. And you can adjust it too. It's a bigger, wider car for sure. You feel that than the C7 or the Supra. Yeah, it shifts really quick when you're on full throttle.
Yeah,
that's where you're getting the very quick shifting. If you're on part throttle or lower RPM, it's not as quick. But do you miss the manual?
Yes. Yeah.
You do?
Yes. Yeah.
I was wondering that. So you do miss the manual. Okay.
Sure. Yeah, more engagement. But this transmission, honestly, on track, it just did its thing, and I didn't even.
You kept it in auto?
Yes, I didn't manually shift. And it damn near did exactly what it should do on the racetrack.
How were your oil temps?
They were high. I looked at the PDR data. I had 290 degrees.
Oh wow!
Lap.
Okay. But no, it's pretty good. I mean, it's way better than the 8-speed auto in the the older Camaros and even in the C7s for sure. I still think the shifting's a little bit crisper in the ZF 8-speed in the Supra, but it's a huge improvement. And then of course now with the C8 you got the dual clutch, which takes it to another level. But yeah, I think it's a cool option, and you also get, of course, lower gearing, but the gears are very closely spaced. That's always cool to do a full acceleration if you're only dropping a few hundred RPM each time. All right, we're gonna try launch control here. Press and hold brake.
Ready to rock, yeah. A little bit of wheel hop, not much.
Yeah, but it cracks off those shifts. It's funny, the RPM gauge is like a little bit slower. And I think why? Because it's a mechanical gauge, where my Supra, it's digital, and the C7, so like it's instant. But that's funny. But also these Goodyear supercars hook up.
Yeah, when you get heat into them, and what's the temperature on?
I mean it's probably mid-80s. Yeah. But
and we've been using them hard, so.
Yeah, so that's good. And these are huge 305s in the rear, 285s in the front. So no problem there. But I think that 1LE is the way you want to go for a Camaro. Yep. It definitely has more responsiveness. The suspension, you got the mag ride dampers, which was really cool.
Better seats.
And as we're going fast here, it smooths out the suspension. Like when we were slow, it's like, oh, this is kind of firm, but it definitely soaks up the bumps as you're going faster.
Now, I wasn't really honed in on the chassis response my first track day last week, but I didn't notice a lack of damping, shock damping in this car when it was in track mode.
Okay.
MRC,
right.
Ride control.
And I think it's actually a little bit firmer than the C7 track mode here. So, but the steering is, very firm, responsive. Oh, there it goes. Performance shift active. I love the exhaust though. I keep saying it, but I think it's really, really nice sounding.
Now hold it down. Left.
Okay, yep. Down to fourth. I'm manually shifting. as I'm driving it more, it's starting to shrink around me. It doesn't feel as large. I'm a small car person, but yeah, I'm starting to get more used to it. Now the sight lines is Supra-like because of the narrow windows, but again, I'm used to that, so it's not a big deal for me. And then of course, these 1LEs come with that micro suede steering wheel and the seats, right?
Yes, Recaro seats.
The Recaro seats hold you in very nice. They feel really good, way better than the C7. So another interesting option Chad got was the copper-free brakes, and it's strange. It's an option, and Chad, tell us a little bit about that.
So the state of Washington and California are mandating less copper in the brake pads. So General Motors had to go to work and offer a package with the same capabilities as the Ferroto HP 1000 pad that came on the Corvettes and Camaros for years. An excellent dual-purpose pad. So in taking the copper out of the pads, the heat capacity was compromised. So they went bigger rotor and caliper on the front of the SS1LE and the ZL1 and ZL1 1LE. And it's a Brembo pad. Yes, it's a 398 millimeter rotor with the Brembo 6-piston caliper, but the caliper is even bigger than what is offered on the ZL1 and ZL1LE. And getting the copper-free option on the SS1LE, you also get bigger rear brakes. You're essentially getting the ZL1 rear brakes. And so on an SS1LE, it's only a $500 additional charge for the copper-frees.
I mean, this is probably the end of the road for the Camaro. Not many
At
more
least
years
internal
left.
combustion, yeah.
Yeah, so Chad got one of the last years for it, and I'm sure you'll be keeping this one for a while. It's pretty cool. You've ordered every one you've had. So I was surprised you got the auto, but it is a pretty cool option. I'm getting used to it in the Supra as well. I don't really miss it.
There's a lot of reasons I went auto. My Gen 5, I believe, was pretty sorted out. Ran a 150 Ford pit race. And for me to step into the Gen 6 and to make it feel like I really needed something different, you know, to kind of justify.
That makes sense.
And the 10-speed is a lot faster on the road course, and different dynamic.
Yeah, it's really confidence-inspiring, this car too. The rear end stays planted.
Yeah, between the PTM, the E-Diff, ELSD. Yeah, it's easy to get in these cars and drive fast. I ran pretty much a 158 flat at pit race. My second session ever in this car. The OE tires. There's definitely room for improvement. I've seen.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
The same car run on pit race a lot faster, so I have room for improvement. But the Gen 6 Camaros are so approachable to run fast. Confident, like you said, confidence inspiring. But
anyway, well, thanks a lot, Chad.
Yeah, sure.
Check out your new ride.
Yeah.
It's definitely pretty cool. And again, first time I was able to experience the GM Ford 10-speed. So pretty good. But all right, guys, tell us what you think of the Camaro in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next video.